ACI is a great place for that because it's one of the few conferences or conventions or organizations in the world of cement and concrete that brings together both academics and industry professionals in a very huge number. Hi, and welcome to this month's episode of Engineering Greatness, an original podcast produced by the American Concrete Institute. I am Palash Badjatya. I am a data scientist at Verifi, a part of the Saint Gobain group. With me today, I have Sasan.
Hey, glad to be here. So I'm Sasan Dolati. I'm a structural engineer at Stantec, Chicago office, and we're very excited to be your guest.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the podcast. Let's get started. So, Sasan and I work on very different aspects of concrete. So we're just gonna talk about our journey, how we got here, and some of the learnings. So, Sasan, why don't you start? Why don't you tell us about why you chose civil engineering?
Awesome, Palash. Thank you. And yeah, as I mentioned, very excited to be here. We both are on the concrete structure concrete topic, but in a different major, different area of helping this topic. Yeah, so for my case, honestly, my interest started when I was in elementary school. And I was studying and I experienced very harsh earthquake at that time. And that happened while I was studying with my family and sitting in the sitting room. And so it was very scary for me. And we need to stay outside. We need to sleep in the park, I think, for 2 nights because we were being told that there might be some post earthquake, and those were, I mean, those would be more, I mean, scary. So what happened that at those night, I mean, at those night, I was thinking that why should people feel these unsafe in their own homes? And that experience stayed with me. And later I realized that structural engineering is one way that I can help to, I mean, reduce this fear of the people. People can live normally, at least with less fear. And and the way that I thought is that, okay, let's see how can I mean, be helpful in making buildings safer and helping community recover faster after the earthquake. So then this was the starting of finding the structural engineering as my journey.
Wow. That sounds like a terrible thing
Yeah.
that happened in Iran, but you've used that as an inspiration and you're trying to make a change. That is very commendable uh,
Yeah,
journey.
exactly. You're right. I mean, yeah, because I mean, I remember even our buildings was concrete buildings, and it was not very ductile building, not very, I mean, safe side. So we were lucky. I mean, that at that time we were not have any fatal damage, but hopefully that things happen as a, I mean, in the inspiration for me. But yeah, so um, if we want to go to the, I mean, learn more about Palash. So Palash, what informed your decision on the university where you obtained your bachelor's degree and master's degree? You are a quite way of helping in concrete structure with data science. Why didn't you tell us more about the journey that you had?
Yeah, it's been a long journey. I got my undergraduate degree in civil engineering at IIT Bombay in
Yeah.
India. Uh, I chose that university because it was one of the best, if not the best, biased answer maybe, but if not best
Awesome.
university for engineering and civil engineering in India at the time. That started my journey in civil engineering. Honestly, I did not know where it was gonna go, but in the summer of my sophomore year. Uh, that's when I came across some projects run by professors in my department. I was actually trying to choose a structural engineering project, uh, but
Oh,
it turned out it was a very concrete materials related project. Um, yeah,
wow.
that got my journey in concrete started. So I like to say I kind of quote unquote fell into concrete. Uh,
Yeah.
so this was in my this was in my sophomore year, and then I got another opportunity for a summer research internship in Hong Kong at the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, and that was my first time doing research abroad and doing like more intense research. And I had an amazing experience. And that inspired me to continue my journey in concrete materials. And that's when I started thinking about grad school. Uh, and then, I came to the US. I got my master's degree in civil engineering, focusing on construction materials,
Hmm.
concrete specifically, from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was another great experience, taking all these like cement materials focused classes that
Yeah.
I didn't even know until that point could exist. But it's extremely inspirational working with all these master's, PhD students around me, and also with all the professors there. Um, I At that point I did not think about doing a PhD. I was looking to go into the industry. Um, that's what I did. I worked in the industry for a bit back in India, but I realized that I wanted to do more. I wanted to do more R&D. I wanted to do more challenging projects.
Hmm.
And that's what inspired me to do my PhD in concrete materials. And I came back to the US. I was at Columbia University in the city of New York.
Hmm.
That's where I got my PhD in the area of 3D printing of concrete, but more fundamentally about the rheology of cement pastes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was some of my academic journey, especially going from undergrad to master's to PhD. Can talk about the my current job later, but Sasan, tell us about your journey with grad school. Like,
Sure. First of all, you did study both great school. I think Urbana-Champaign and even Columbia both are very strong in the concrete topic. It's quite challenging getting there, and great job for that. And yeah, for me, so I was my bachelor and master was in Iran. So after that decision that I started with the structural engineering, I chose concrete structure, and the reason that I wanted to be in the concrete topic was that a lot of building stock in our area was concrete, and the older buildings usually were way more susceptible to the damage. So I started thinking that concrete would be my topic, and so I did my bachelor and master in civil engineering and structural engineering, concrete in Iran. And then for my PhD, I came here at UT San Antonio. And again, so my PhD was strongly focused on the concrete structure under earthquake damage and finding the effect. We'll talk about it later, but uh, that was the thing that I came here. Uh, and yeah, and I think um, I'm happy with the decision that I made and resulted in this situation that we are right now. Yeah,
oh, that's great. Yeah.
yeah,
I forgot to kind of mention this, but one of the things that actually, I don't want to say attracted me, but kind of kept me in the field of concrete was I think I've always been a hands-on person. So when I started my the project in concrete materials, I was a bit disappointed because I was looking for a structural engineering project because everyone was talking about it. That was the most popular field. But as soon as I started working in the lab, getting my hands dirty, that was an amazing feeling. And I enjoyed
yeah,
that
for sure.
project, and that kept me going.
For
Uh,
sure, yeah.
that
I think
was,
I had some experience in the lab, uh, very minor. I mean, just doing the slump test and the other stuff with concrete to get the strength and I mean check if there is ready or not. And those were very interesting for me as well. But I see what you're referring to have hands-on experience, and I think I'm 100% on your side. Those are very interesting things to do, and yeah, those are I like them a lot as well.
Awesome.
So, Palash, what was the college experience like? I mean, for those that are listening to us and or watching us, how can you describe that? Did you join any student clubs like ACI student chapter or ASCE? And how these experience enhance your academic involvement? And overall, do you recommend any student that if they are here, the audience of us, that they should, I mean, seek these groups or be active in these groups? As a person that who is active right now in industry, how do you see those, I mean, those involvement in your current situation?
Yeah, so when I was doing my undergrad, I was involved with concrete. I had done a couple of projects, but I had not been really aware of ACI.
Yeah,
I had heard my professor talk about it, but yeah, at that point, yeah, we didn't have any specific concrete related clubs. Uh, it was actually when I came to the US, I was getting my undergrad. I was getting my master's
master.
at
Yeah,
University of Illinois. There was a student chapter, an ACI student chapter there that was pretty active. There were monthly discussions, monthly seminars that got me more involved in concrete, more aware of what was out there. And I would say that that was a, that was the beginning of like a second phase for me in the world of concrete, because at this point I'm interacting with other students, other professionals uh, who are working with concrete, and I had this tremendous opportunity to learn from them. So while I was at UFI, that's when I first went to an ACI conference. So we had a great infrastructure through the student chapter there, in terms of providing opportunities and funding, especially for travel to these conferences. Um, and yeah, I remember 2015, the convention in Denver. That was my first ACI, and
wow.
I've been involved on and off since then, but it has been 11 years. Uh, yeah, I think yeah, that was like the formative experience for me, I would say, when it comes to the world of concrete or the broader world of concrete. So yeah, my concrete journey, while it did not begin during undergrad, it did begin during my grad school. But yeah, going to ACI at that time, I did see a lot of undergrads, even from University of Illinois, who were involved in competitions like Concrete Canoe or some of the ACI specific competitions, like the mortar workability,
Yeah,
the bowling ball competitions. So there are definitely opportunities for undergraduate students to be involved as well,
sure.
whether or not they're doing research, uh, just if they're interested in playing around with concrete and yeah, competing with other students from all over the world. There are definitely many opportunities available.
Yeah, sure. No, great to hear that. And yeah, I think uh, I 100% agree with you. I think those involvement would be beneficial. In my case, I mean, so it was in 2019 I came here, and we were very excited. We've been told to attend ACI. So part of the reason was my advisors, who was Professor Anum and Matamoros. They were chair of ACI group committees, and they asked all the students to be involved. And we were very excited to attend these ACI committee. But the problem was at 2019, COVID started. And so, an ACI at the beginning, I mean, we didn't know that it would be in person or not. But then for the first time, it started having the online format. And so for me, the first experience was like that. So I just attended online on I can't recall it was Zoom or it was Teams, but uh, but the good point was that I was able to see any sessions that I like. I went to each session and I thought that how helpful they are. So someone came, have a slides and explain all their research, all the maybe years of works in some slide, and those can be a lot of lessons for us, so we can learn from them. And and I start looking at the sessions that are more similar to my topic, and it was quite interesting for me. Then I realized that there is another option, that is committee involvement beside the sessions. That so there are some people expert in the topic, any topic that someone are working, and those came over there. They talk together. They have the associate member, voting member, and if I want to define these two groups, is that so associate member usually take part, but they don't necessarily vote on every aspect, but voting members are more involved and they do the voting. And if there's any change, they happen over there and then they go to the next level. But for me, it was really, I mean, it's quite fascinating, guys, that I always wanted to know if something changes in ACI 318. Who did that? Who was the update? What was the update? And I saw seeing those people at first online and then going to the ACI convention in person, seeing those, I thought that how important this place and how helpful this place. And yeah, after 2019 and after COVID-19 finished, so I started going them in person, and it's been, I think, 7 years, not as much as yours, Palash, from 2015, but it's been 7 years or 6 years that I try to be to involve 2 times a year all the convention, and I strongly recommend all the students, all the audience, that they can go to any committee they have there, in any student club if they have in their university. I remember back in my university, some student they start, I mean, making this group for our school for the first time. And ACI was quite supportive as well. ACI helped a lot, and they checked in a lot. And as you said, they can meet a lot of students.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Talking about my ACI experience a little bit more. So initially when I went during my master's, it was I was trying to go to sessions, like you said. I was trying to get something out of the sessions to try to use in my master's research as well. But a lot of it also ended up being a social thing for me. I remember making a lot of connections, not just professional connections, but personal connections from different parts of the country, different parts of the world, and just having some amazing times there. Um, but in the beginning, yeah, I as a master's student, I was looking to go into the industry. So initially, a lot of my time at ACI was also about networking with the industry. So I did go in with that mindset, trying to talk to a lot of different companies. So also learning about how the industry works, and that was amazing. So I would say, like in the beginning, I was a uh, very passive attendee at ACI,
Yeah.
just trying to absorb, trying to network, trying to maybe get an internship or a full-time job out of there. So yeah, I attended about 4 ACIs during my master's between 2015 and 2016. And then I went back to India for a couple of years, so I didn't get the opportunity to attend any ACI. Uh, and I come back, and like you said, Sasan, there was COVID. I had come back in 2019, so yeah, 2020 was when I could possibly attend or start going back to ACI. But then COVID happened. I tried to attend them online. It wasn't the same, of course.
Yeah.
But my first convention back in person was the 2022 Orlando convention, and it was so great to be back. Some faces I hadn't seen in 5 years, because yeah, I hadn't been going to ACI, and there are a lot of people I only see at ACI, unfortunately. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, it was a great experience going back. And I was in the middle of my PhD at that time. And my advisor had brought up being involved in committees more at that time. One of my colleagues, PhD students, he was already involved in a 3D printing committee. and I was doing 3D printing research. So that was, yeah, I just went and attended one of the committee sessions. And I will say that I had attended a couple of committee sessions in the past. And honestly, at that time, I thought they were boring because there was a lot of discussion about documentation and the way things are written down so that, yeah, there's no ambiguity, all those things. Basically, there was very little to no technical discussion. So in the beginning, I thought this is probably, uh, yeah, I wasn't sure if this is for me. Um, and I was also sitting among experienced people, like, and I had nothing to contribute at that time, so I was also a little bit nervous in those committee meetings. But as I was learning more about concrete, growing in the concrete world. Uh, when I went back to committee meetings in the middle of my PhD, I could understand what other people were talking about much better. And since I was also thinking about going to the industry during my PhD, um, I started to realize like the importance of committees and what they're doing in committees, like not just for academia, but for industry. So just concrete as a whole, as it's out there. And that's what got me interested in joining more committees. So I later I joined the workability committee and I got to help out with the student competition as well, which was a very fulfilling experience. It was great to see students competing very enthusiastically. Uh, it was just amazing. And then I wanted to do some data science in the field of concrete. So I started also attending the machine learning committee. Um, and it was pretty new at the time, 2023, 2024. Uh, and I realized that there's a lot I could contribute to. And yeah, I have been part of these committees for a few years now since, and again, it has been a great experience. So even though I was scared in the beginning, so for listeners who feel that, yeah, it can be intimidating or uh, yeah, it may just sound boring. It's not. There's a lot of impactful work that is going on in these committees, and I would recommend you to give it a shot. Maybe start off with some of the student committees. There could be more relevant discussions going on about events for students that you could feel more connected to. But then you can use that as a launching pad to be involved in other committees that are related to your research or the direction you want to go in the future.
For sure. No, it was great to hear that you had a supportive idea of that. Regarding the committee and the first networking, I 100% agree. I think ACI can significantly help a student who are seeking to get involved in the industry. They can make a lot of contact with professors, either academic or either non-academic, because if someone didn't have any experience for attending committee, it's not like everyone in the committee are based academic version. There are a lot of non-academic in the group that you can see. So what essentially ACI committee trying to do is that they want to take part both non-academic and academic, everyone in the industry and everyone in the professor side, academic, talk together, find the problem, and they resolve and they realize there's some solution for the code. So that result that you would meet a lot of professors and a lot of engineers. And that can be a late contact for you. In terms of committee involvement, yeah, after attending, I think I started with 369 seismic group evaluation and repair because it was very close to my project that I was doing. So in my PhD, I was doing effect of earthquake on the concrete column, either deformation or strength. And we were trying to find how damage can column can handle, and then how can we have the better assessment and evaluation of the column. And so I tried to find some committee related to this one. And I think meeting people that I used to only read their papers, now meeting them in person was a great feeling as well. I believe we have a lot of young professional audience as well beside the student. There are a lot of industry based that they may never be in the ACI committee. So I want to ask you, Palash, that if you face any challenge and if you have any advice for those young professionals that they can handle better. So what are some challenges that you face during this journey, and what is your advice to these young professionals?
So, one of the biggest challenges I faced in my concrete journey was after my master's degree when I was trying to look for work. I wanted to go into the industry, and I tried to like connect with people, but I feel like I did that more to just like more opportunistically, like just to get a job.
Yeah,
And not really yeah not really discuss with company people as like what are the problems in the industry and trying to get to know industry challenges better. And I think that kind of showed up in some of my maybe applications or interviews. And yeah I after a long job search and it turned out to be unsuccessful. Um, but yeah, that is totally on me. So I guess my advice to students is, um, yeah, I mean, if you are looking to go into the industry, uh, I mean, it definitely helps if you have some internship experience before you apply for a full-time job.
yeah,
Uh, but also, uh, yeah, I mean, try to really learn about the industry, and ACI is a good place for that. You get a lot of opportunities through some of the sessions, but also like the company booths, and there are also social events where you get to connect with not just managers of these companies or people high up in those companies. You get to also talk to people who are entry level, who are young professionals who were probably in your situation just a couple years ago. So, and they will have a lot to share about their experiences. That is something I missed out on, or I didn't do it quite right. Uh, but I learned from my mistakes. I did try to fix those when I was looking for a job in my PhD, after my PhD, and being involved in those committees gave me definitely gave me a better idea about the industry, and uh, I I was even more curious at that point, like having gone through a few years of being in concrete. I was just more curious. I was trying to ask questions to anyone and everyone at ACI, and it has been a great learning experience, not just technically, but also socially and professionally. Um, yeah, and ACI is a great place for that because it's one of the few conferences or conventions or organizations in the world of cement and concrete that brings together both academics and industry professionals in a very huge number. Just, I think in the last few minutes, I think we both said we're going to talk about this later in the discussion, but could you tell us more about your journey from academia to the industry? What helped during your PhD to get the job, and just tell us about what you're doing in your current role right now.
uh, for sure. And I think this is the most interesting part of our discussion, and it's the same as you. So because this would be very helpful for our young professional or students who are seeking to transition. So yeah, so for me, I start after I was in PhD. I mean, it wasn't very easy decision for me to go to industry or academy because I was very interested in, I mean, developing more the skills that I got as a finite element analysis, and I wanted to even dig more in the topic and to get something that can be more helpful to the code. But then overall, based on the situation at that time, so I decided to go to the industry. Transitioning from PhD to industry, one challenge and that you mentioned, having internship was something that could be very helpful, but I didn't get the chance to do internship. And that was because I was not only was working on my research, I was helping the lab as well. So in the summer, I joined so UTSA had a lab, the larger scale lab that we were doing another test, and I was interested in doing the shear wall test as well. So I was volunteered to my advisor that I want to start helping here as well. So I started to be there and missed the opportunity. I missed the internship chance in here. But then one thing that extremely helped me was those contacts that I have from the ACI. So I know a lot of people in the industry. I know a lot of people in the academic work. And I was in touch with them. I always have, because so we were regularly meeting these people twice a year. And they were asking me, okay, are you going to graduate this year? Quite helpful, quite nice. And so using those, I started looking for the jobs. And one thing that I would say for me was very important when I was doing the interview for the companies, I always at the end asked the manager, the hiring manager, that are you supportive that I can attend the ACI convention twice a year? And this was if so. In my case, if they would say no, so it was a red line for me. And also several of them was quite supportive. So my manager at the Stantec, my current employee company, my current company, they were extremely, I mean, significantly supportive and helpful. And they were in this. I saw because I'm in industrial light now, 3 years, almost 3 years, and they really help. So Stantec was very helpful in the growing the employee, and they have this culture to support. And so I think because I had a great benefit from ACI, I try to keep them. And in my scenario, I see that as a win-win situation for both employee and company, because so attending the committee and session keep the employee in the updated change and keep the employee with a great knowledge. That help with the project, so the company would get benefits. And so I think that was something that and get a lot of credibility to the employer as well. So if you are in the committees and people count on you as someone that who had a hands-on experience. So that was for me. Maybe the challenge was just finding right company that are supportive for these conferences, and hopefully this journey continue. And yeah, and then 3 years, still doing a lot of reinforced concrete design, and but more in the bridge side. But a lot of interaction with ACI, a lot of interaction with ASHTO on the concrete side, and we do a steel as well, but a lot of our project is the concrete as well. And yeah, what about you? Do you why don't you share some insight for our audience that how was your transition to the industry look like, and how do you describe that?
Yeah. Before I go into that, I just want to quickly mention that Sasan has also contributed to some committee and like actually code committees. He's made
Yeah.
contributions to code. So I'm sure that was a very fulfilling experience for you as
Thank you.
well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's 100% true. So part of my PhD research was feed into the some committee, and for me, I mean, as you mentioned, maybe that was the most interesting feeling that you do something for 4.5 years, and then the result can be used in some code and or in the real practice in industry. As you mentioned, yeah, that's 100% right.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so my journey to this job began actually very early in my PhD. I always knew I wanted to go into the industry or I preferred industry more.
Yeah.
And when I was starting my PhD, actually when I was applying for my PhD, my goal was to uh, combine cement and concrete with new technology. I'd always been interested in technology, even as a kid, and also interested in programming since our school taught us C++ in eighth grade. um, for whatever reason. And that was
Wow.
actually a great experience. And I've always liked coding since. So I wanted to kind of combine all those together. And when I was at Columbia, I did take a few classes in construction management, um, and just trying to learn more about the industry. And that's when I found out, yeah, there was a real push to bring the civil engineering industry into the 21st century with all the technology, like the digital transformation and involving big data. I was also around a lot of data scientists, as Columbia has a dedicated master's in data science. So combining that with what I was seeing in the construction industry, I started getting more interested in what I can do with data in concrete. Um, so I took
Sure.
a few classes like big data analysis in machine learning and just trying to hone up my skills in programming and data analytics. And then during my PhD, after yeah, sometime in the middle of my PhD, I knew I wanted to go into the industry and I wanted some industry experience. So through the support of my advisor, uh, we were able to get like an NSF funding to do a small project with industry. Um, so during my PhD, I worked with this company I'm currently at Verifi. I just collaborated with them for a small project, and that gave me some experience on what's happening or what could be possible with data in concrete in the
Yeah.
real world. And at that time, yeah, I that kind of solidified my desire to kind of work in technology in concrete and all of these innovative changes that are coming up in this concrete industry. So when I was about to graduate, I reached out to this company, and they had liked my work during that small project that we did together. Um, and so I'd met my current manager, Dr. Nathan Traeger. I'd met him at ACI. So he has been involved with ACI and he's been involved with cement and concrete forever. Uh, and he's been the chair of a couple of committees.
Yeah.
He was the chair of workability. He is also on the machine learning committee. Um, and and I had been involved in those committees as a PhD student. So it seemed like the path that I wanted to follow kind of closely resembled his path with coming from cementriology and then adding data science to it. So we connected during ACI, and then when I was looking for jobs, I reached out, and it worked out in the end, and I became a data scientist at Verifi. I'm working with Nathan Traeger um, on these like cool projects that we do. Yeah, we realized that yeah, there is a lack of visibility in the industry when it comes
Yeah.
to concrete. There's so much concrete being made. It's the second most used material in the world, only after water. Uh, and we're only in the recent past, in the last 5, 10 years, 15 years, been collecting data. Um, and there's so much data out there. There's so much that we can do. And it's just been an exciting journey for the last year and a half. And another good thing is, especially because I have this path, which is already being followed by my manager, which is just being at ACI, contributing at ACI, being part of committees. There has been great support from my company as well to go to ACI.
Yeah.
Only been at the company for a year and a half, but I've already been to like two ACIs, and I hope to continue coming to ACIs. So yeah, I
Sure.
mean that was an important aspect as well that I was thinking when I was looking for work. that yeah, I do want to continue going to ACI. So it will be great if my company can sponsor that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it has been great being part of this community, and I do want to continue being part of this community. It just feels awesome.
for
So
sure. So now part of the reason that I became more interested in joining the industry base was that so in our PhD, I want to summarize very brief. So we had some experimental data on the concrete column. So they made some concrete column in the lab, but we wanted to identify what would happen if earthquake shows different type of loading. By different type, I mean if the number of cycles change, instead of 5 cycles go to 10 cycles, how would be the damage? It was hard to build each column and then apply different loading, so we did finite element analysis. And for that, we were trying to get the accurate response. So instead of making in the lab, we make some models and then apply the load in the model and then ask model to show us what would be the damage. I was working with Athena as a reinforced concrete software. So we developed a methodology that can capture damage, but so I was just doing continuously modeling. There was a competition in 2021 at the University of California, Berkeley, which was held by PER, Pacific Earthquake Engineering Research Institute. And so they built a concrete column and they applied earthquake load on that, but they didn't release results. And they said, okay, and they called it blind prediction. And they said, okay, so you can predict what would be the damage, what would be the cracks or the type of failure, and it's open to anyone in the world. So 40 countries attend this competition. I think 120 applicant, 119 applicant. And so our team, I mean, I with my advisor, I was the winner of a student category for having the most accurate response. And the feeling that we got that, okay, our model, the one that our the methodology that we developed now is working in the real time. We see that but we didn't know this column. We just make this model and finding. And as I mentioned at the beginning, concrete is a nonlinear material. It doesn't have identified behavior. So it's extremely hard. So that was quite, some point that I said, okay, now let's do that more in industry, find this aspect that can be helpful. And I think maybe one of the bright side of my journey was that one. Winning that competition gave me a lot of, confidence, at least what I want to do. And the way that I'm doing is we publish a paper in ACI and we just recommending how to do nonlinear analysis. We publish in ACI journal. And after that, I think so because it was in my second year of PhD, it double up my speed to do way more and get great result. And yeah, and then changing to industry, as you mentioned, getting the supportive company and a sponsorship to attending these conferences, presentation. I still do a lot of presentation, doing more on my research, and I think same as you, I strongly agree that students should do attending these in ACI, just the purpose of network and learning.
So just to add about something that helped during my PhD, that helped with my current job is I was doing concrete cement materials research, and as many listeners might know, there is not a lot of data available in the lab. You can only test very few samples. Uh, but I really wanted to learn more and apply more of the data science techniques that I had learned. So I did write my own script. It was not necessarily needed, I would say, but I still wrote my script to analyze some rheology data because I was doing repeated rheology tests that changed in only like a few parameters. But I did I did at least a couple hundred, if not more, rheology tests, which were very similar. So it was a really good case for using like a script that could analyze all the rheology data in the same way, trying to get very repeatable results from different tests instead of manually picking points on curves. Um, and yeah, that experience also, uh, yeah, that was an exhilarating experience,
Sure.
seeing script analyze all these 200, 300 samples in a matter of seconds, instead of, I don't know, the hours it would take to go through each one of them. And yeah, that experience also, yeah, that experience helped me kind of be prepared for the job that I am doing right now.
Sure, Palash. I think students or a young professional who are listening to us, they think that we are living on the concrete and we don't do anything other than that. So why not both of us? So start with you. What activity do you enjoy outside of your professional life? And yeah, this is the wrap-up part of our discussion. So please.
Yeah, I feel like I'm fortunate enough to have be in a workplace and have a kind of work life that does give me uh, a good work-life balance, that gives me time to enjoy some other activities. But tying this just a little bit back to concrete, so I was always interested in cooking, but when I was doing my PhD, I was in New York in like a very small, like 10 square foot kitchen shared with another person.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I was in the lab all day. I was like mixing stuff, weighing stuff. So when I got back home, I guess I wouldn't have the mental or physical bandwidth to try a lot of things in the kitchen. But now I've pivoted completely to working on my laptop. Uh,
Awesome.
so that has freed up some of that mental and physical bandwidth, and I have been able to do more experiments in the kitchen. Uh, that's one of the activities I really enjoy. And yeah, it's I guess the best of both worlds now. I'm still working in concrete. I'm doing coding that I like. I'm doing what I like at work, but I'm also getting enough time to do these mad scientist experiments in the kitchen. Still using that uh, interest in hands-on work, and maybe applying some chemistry or material science concepts in the kitchen. That's been fun. But yeah, outside of that, I do like to go out, explore. I do a lot of photography as well. And yeah, just explore urban spaces, try different restaurants. And being in a city like Boston definitely does help with that, especially the fact that I like walking, and it's good to be in a walkable city. I'm trying to make the most of it. Yeah.
Awesome. No,
What
that's
about
great.
you?
No, that's great. First of all, we should try one type of your cooking. I mean, it seems that you are experts in the kitchen, and
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
yeah, sure,
Next time you're in Boston,
for sure,
yeah, I'd be happy to
for
cook for
sure.
you.
For sure. So for me, same as you. I mean, I'm lucky to be in the company that have a great life balance, work balance, and so I can do some stuff that I want. And for me, I like running a lot, and I do maybe 3 times a week. I like readings and I love walking as well. To be outside, Chicago, like Boston, so give these natures that at least in the, I mean, not in the extreme cold weather, but at least as far as we have a good weather, we can go outside and seeing people. I like the, I mean, interaction with people. So being surrounded by people, I like that, and and uh, and I try to be active and keeping the connection with others. And now I have a friend in Boston, and that we will meet you over there, and we will talk more and try the best cooking experience maybe later. But yeah, so thanks again for joining us, and thanks to everyone for listening to this month's episode of Engineering Greatness. Join us each month as ACI brings together young professional and experienced members in the concrete industry to engage in an intimate conversation about their life and work. Be sure to subscribe our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And for more information on the American Concrete Institute, visit the online at concrete.org. We will see you next month.